that served as a lifeline for parts of southeast Albuquerque will be closing its doors next month.
The Walmart on San Mateo near Central, situated near some of Albuquerque's lower income neighborhoods, announced today it will be part of a company-wide closures happening across the country.
The closure will make things tough.
Major inconvenience.
Joseph Earp walks to the Walmart on San Mateo a few times a week to buy his groceries. He says he was shocked to hear the news. It leaves him wondering where he will shop for essentials now.
What? A day after Walmart announcing it's closing its location on Milwaukee's northwest side, neighbors wonder where they're going to get essentials like food. Fox 6's Brett Lemoyne live near Silver Spring in Appleton with how the city hopes to avoid a food desert.
Yeah, Mary, Hunger Task Force is already planning a mobile food stop for this location to make sure people who would come to Walmart normally in the neighborhood for fresh fruits and vegetables still have access. So it's right across the street, basically.
Yep.
After 2 decades living within eyesight of his neighborhood grocery store, Tom Lacoyo is saying goodbye to Walmart.
Actually, it's going to affect the neighborhood because most of the people around they're dependent on Walmart here.
A company spokeswoman tells Fox 6 the store on Milwaukee's northwest side will permanently close Friday, March 10th. We are grateful to the customers as many of his neighbors don't have cars. That creates what's commonly known as a food desert.
The USDA defines a food desert as a space where you have to go more than a mile basically to get access to fresh and healthy foods.
Sherry Tussler is the executive director of Hunger Task Force. She says there are 20 food deserts in Milwaukee County.
What happens is those communities continue to decline in terms of access to not just food, but goods and services.
I want to give all the praise.
Hey, Shalom, Akim, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I'm going to like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect. News in the gospel, brought lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is Aki Amahaloya coming back from the GMS Casey Camp branch, or GMS branch, or the Kansas City branch. Basically, man, this is just a quick lesson through the spirit. It says massive Walmart closures across country will soon be used as martial law facilities, and that's absolutely right. The inspiration come from, that's the spirit, because I was watching the elder brother Karatazar. I believe he's from, I believe the Maryland camp. One of the camps out there in the East Coast, Salakia brother, if I don't remember the particular camp, the Baltimore camp, I believe, he's the head. And now you got the beloved brother here, Amawan Gabar. I clicked on it and I actually seen it. I'm like, oh, that's the spirit, that's the inspiration, to go into this lesson because, we're in Passover time. Actually, we're in the first day of the Passover, which is the unleavened bread, feast of unleavened bread. And, we believe that mass judgment is getting ready to commence on the streets of Babylon, okay, with this new technocracy or technocratic government, with detaining people against their will because they're not adhering to certain mandates and so forth. So these martial law FEMA camps, or these FEMA camps, which this guy Sam Walton, I believe he was like during the time of World War II, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that he was on the docket as far as like a naval officer, not like a naval officer, but basically they used him like as some type of sign off, and he was like I'm trying to remember Slovakia, but he was like basically he volunteered to house people in these particular internment camps. I believe like when the Japanese was pretty much locked up against their will during the time of World War II. I believe Sam Walton. His name was like on the docket or something like that, from what I could recall. I researched it a while back, so I don't remember the exact details. But basically, his facilities can be used as holding facilities in a time of martial law. Okay, as we know that the hour of martial law is nearly upon us, as America has really been a police state since that time. Okay, but really solidifying that during the time of 9/11. When they signed the NDAA Act 2, which is the National Defense Authorization Act, into so-called law, color of law, during 2001, we've been under the police state. So this is the reason why you have a militarization of the police. Okay, and when you go into martial law or Walmart backwards, you got Walmart, which is Marshall, and then you got law. Okay, because look, you got law spelled backwards, and then you got Mart, which is abbreviated into Marshall. Okay, now, I mean, you can say, well, you pulled that out of your hat, but, you know, a lot of so-called sea theorists, as they like to call them, actually went into what that name meant. And as cliche as that sound, hey, you know what? It is what it is, you know? But anyway, I looked up. It says all Walmart stores in Portland are permanently closing. Damn, all Walmart stores. And why is that? Because they're going to need places to house people in time of martial law, the detainment facilities. Because it's Apostle Kabar went into it last week. It's called the Noahide laws, okay, which basically they go into FEMA camps and these particular stores, these department box stores like Sears and these old abandoned facilities, schools, by the way, you know, like a lot of abandoned schools here in the Kansas City area, they haven't been torn down, so they can use the buildings infrastructure in order to detain people in these internment facilities, man, or internment camps. Okay, and the scriptures goes into that. Okay, they can even occupy your own place of residence and turn that into an internment camp, because during the hour of martial law, the government, they can take over what you consider the subsidiaries of the United States. Basically, they are the new opposing factor of law. Okay, Walmart closing all stores in a major U.S. city. It says Walmart to close remaining Portland stores as crime-ridden city battle shoplifting waves. Walmart closing all their Portland, Oregon. Walmart's getting ready to disappear from this facility. Okay. It's an inside look at Walmart store closure. Shoppers need to act fast for food deals, but some sections remain. Walmart is closing a batch of stores in 2023. Let's look at this here. This came out 6 days ago. All right. So, Walmart is closing a batch of stores in 2023. Here's the full list. It says Walmart will close 8 stores in 5 states and in Washington, D.C. It says the company is also winding down its 2 remaining pickup locations in Illinois and Arkansas. And it says each year the company technically closes a handful of stores, considering to be underperforming. That's a damn lie. Walmart is never underperforming. Like, you go to Walmart right now, it's packed. Okay, because of the deals, the electronics. I mean, you can get you a 75-inch screen TV for leading like $700, $800. So they're not underperforming, but you know, those deals and so forth of these closing stores, man, you can get deals on those electronics and they're going to eat that out. But I believe that they're doing that because they're getting ready to lock this place down. And I think that this next lockdown, I think that's going to be the lockdown of all lockdowns. Okay. When they're going to do it, I don't know. You know, we don't know. But we do know something is big on the horizon, because Esau has a plan for 2030, which has been reduced to 2025, according to some sources. OK, and some brothers was going into it. Now, how true it is, we don't know. But we do know that we're in a time of mass judgment because of the blood moons we've had, the soul, which is the lunar eclipse, which deals with the moon. Then you got the solar eclipse, which deals with the sun. Then you got these signs in the heavens. The chariots are popping up all over the place. You know, brothers are getting wore out in the flesh, man. You know, it's from body ailments to being sick and shit like that. That's how I know that the time is close. So the time of renewing our strength is nigh, brother. So, hey, man, call Allah Yahweh Shemi Havushai. Let's pray that after this Passover, that the Most High makes a big move, man. Because it's time for this devil to go down. Okay, everybody is sick, man. You know, cancerous foods, fiberless foods. Okay, the Momo agenda is to the point that these rappers, man, and these entertainers, they're coming out of the closet. Like this guy, Jonathan Majors from Creed 3. That guy's a straight up Momo, man. You know? And when you look at his mannerisms and the way that he's doing the duck lips, it's kind of suspect. And all of a sudden he's getting these prominent roles. Like, this guy's been in the media. He's been in Hollywood mainstream for the last couple of years, from Lovecraft Country to, I believe, what was the last superhero movie that came out? And then he's in the new movie Creed 3. You know, and it just little abominations like that lets us know that it's time for the Most High to really destroy this fucking place. And hey, Lord's will, we out of here, man. I can't stand the gist of this place, man. And when signs of the kingdom is at night, man, this is an exciting time. Okay, and there's no coincidence they're closing all these Walmart stores and talking about that underperforming. I mean, Amazon is good, but when it comes to Amazon and Walmart, those are 2 titans in the public sector as far as supply chains and so forth. Okay, so matter of fact, let's go to another article. This one stood out to me too, Because I remember, I want to say back in 2019, Intel came out that they was doing a lot of underground drilling in these Walmarts. They was basically blaming the closing of these stores on plumbing issues. But a plumbing issue ain't going to take you 300-400 feet underground, man. Okay, that's something surface level. So what we found out was that a lot of these Walmarts underground, they were linked to what they call DUMBs, deep underground military bases, throughout the country. Because I seen a diagram, and I mean, you know what? That's a spirit. I'm going to go back and research it more. I'm going to go back on the Odysseys and the Big Shoots and look up these particular underground processing centers of these Walmarts and kind of, you know, just started doing the lessons off that, because we know that this information isn't mainstream. And we know that Esau be clipping channels of anything that's exposing his bullshit ass New World Order. Okay, so it says all Walmart stores in Portland are closing permanently. It says the last 2 Walmart stores in the city limits of Portland, Oregon are throwing in the towel. It says the big box retailer store says it will close stores on March 24th as sales have not met expectations. It says that would impact 580 employees, though they will be given the opt to transfer to other Walmart stores, the company said. It says the shutdowns come amid a wider swath of store closures by Walmart, all total 10 across the country, due to their poor financial showing. Which, that's a corporation, they're connected, they're not losing money. But it says while some outlets have speculated that shoplifting losses were a factor in the decision, Walmart has pushed back against that, stating in a statement with the NBC affiliate, we consider many factors, including current and projected financial performance, location, population, which the video that we played earlier from the beloved brother Karatazar, basically they were stating these stores are closing in the poverty-stricken neighborhoods, the urban areas. And you know what that means? Jake areas. Okay, and they're not going to tear the buildings down. They're going to use them for storages, or they're going to use them for detainment facilities. Because, I mean, if you look at like a lot of videos that came out a few years ago, people were seeing barbed wire and fencing up. They were seeing like these guard towers on the roofs and so forth. The windows have been totally blackened out and tinted. Look like Black Ops sites. Okay, you can't see in. You can't see in. You can see out, but you can't see in. And when the guy was doing the footage of the video, they was basically questioning, like, look, you can't come on property and film this shit. So these FEMA camps or these Walmarts are getting ready to be turned into detention centers, right along with your local baseball and football stadiums, your basketball arenas. Like downtown KC, you got something which is called the Municipal, and then you got the T-Mobile Center, which is basically where they hold the bread and circuses from, you know, your concerts to your basketball games. And then you got what they call the Big 12 coming up, March Madness this week, so it's going to be pretty packed. But those facilities, basically, they're going to be detaining people in those facilities in the time of martial law. Okay, they showed you that. What was it? Was it Manchurian Candidate? What movie was that? I believe it was not Enemy of the State, but it was a movie with Denzel Washington when they was basically loading people off these buses into FEMA camps. You know, so you can very well expect the hour of martial law to be upon us because of the new mandates, the shutdowns, and they know the coming collapse of the currency is going to bring in chaos because people are going to lose a lot of money behind this wealth transfer when they bring in the CBDCs. So more stores are going to close, like Kmart, Sears. Those stores are pretty much out of there. But those infrastructures are still standing. Okay? So you got to question that. Why they haven't tore down the building? What are they going to use it for? You know, those stores can fit fucking 20, 30,000 people if you pack them all in like sardines. You know? And then you got out here in Kansas City, you got the Kansas City Royals and the Kansas City Chiefs. Both stadiums are pretty much neck and neck. They're literally like adjacent or behind one another. And I believe the Kansas City Chiefs Stadium can house 80,000 people, if I'm not mistaken. And then the Royals another 80, so that's 160,000. That's just in the bleachers and on the field alone. But you got underground basements, you got fucking VIP rooms, you got jails and shit in those places. In case, you know, people decide to get drunk, the police can detain you right on site. They got prisons in those places, man. You know? But anyway, this is the book of Matthew 10, and I'm going to start at verses 16. It says, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. So be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues, okay? And what's the synagogues? These the modern day synagogues is these places of worship, these churches. Because the Noahide laws, basically, those churches are going to be detainment centers as well. Because we know that the churches are in league with the state. which is under a 501c3 tax exemption. So the church worked hand in hand with state. Okay, they got the concept of the separation of church and state. No, the church and state works tandemly with one another. That's why when you go into these particular churches and some of these Israelite groups, they got to teach a certain curriculum because they have a 501c3, okay, which is wicked as all hell. All right. And it says here, behold, I send you forth of sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves, but beware of men, for they would deliver you up to their councils. Their councils at that time was the modern day scribes and Pharisees at that time, the high priests, but they was in league with the Romans. Okay, because when Yahushua was doing his miracles, and you can read about it in the book of Mark, I believe the 3rd chapter says that they sought to destroy him. So they was in league with the Romans to destroy Yahushua because of the word he came with. Okay, they classify Yahushua, who you can call Christ, as a revolutionary. Okay, basically because he came with a message of repentance and that the Roman Empire was going to be thrown down in time. Okay, the Yahushua directly prophesied about the Roman Empire being thrown down in this modern day Roman Empire, which is America, aka Babylon the Great. It says, for they will scourge you in their synagogues, and ye should be brought before governors and kings for my sake. So, hey, brothers, man, this is going to be a reality. Okay, they're going to start rolling on the men of the Lord, man. You know, they may round brothers up at camp. They may come for us individually, but regardless of that, they're going to come for us. Some of us going to get caught. Some of us are going to get away. Some of us going to get spiritual power. Okay. Then certain brothers are going to be pretty much led to the guillotine. It's a movie called 1984. Apostle Gabar was alluding to. I haven't seen it yet, but I think it came out during the time of the pandemic when it hit a few years ago. And they was going into these fuck, I lost my train of thought. But basically they was going into these detention centers and detaining people, man, and basically sending them to the guillotine, which I believe that's a French word. But basically, man, sending people to the guillotine, Christians, I may add. Okay, that's against the New World Order. All right, and also a video came out of this guy basically breaking down a whole concept of Hollywood, the movie producers, Boston Dynamics, and he went into the whole thing of the Matrix, talking about how it was actually a simulation that they was going to roll out to destroy Christians. So basically they was going to deploy these robots, and you can see that in a movie called Monsters of Man, which is a damn good movie. Basically they can deploy these robots and these drones to these cities, and basically they're going to be hunting citizens, man, mainly Israelites. And he stated, well, look, it's billions of us, and we lie in wait for that great day of Christian blood. And who you think is talking about? It's talking about us. So mass persecution is coming back in a big way, man. Okay, mass execution to them, putting to death the men of the Lord through fucking various means, you know, torturings, fucking beheadings mainly, you know, and a good number of us is going to get that power to fight back, man, because the scriptures do tell you those that wait on the Lord, he should renew their strength, and they should mount up with wings as eagles, and they should run and not be weary. Okay, we're going to get that power because it's going to get real graphic out here. I refuse to believe that the Most High is going to let these devils come for us and have their way with us this time. We've been through that shit before, man. Okay, the men of the Lord being stoned, being sawn in half. I refuse to think that the Most High is going to let us get dealt with like that again. Okay, and some brothers are going to have to go through that. But for the most part, I believe we're going to be okay because, hey, the Lord is going to raise up a standard. Scriptures say that the wave of ungodly men made me afraid. The flood of ungodly men. And that's Esau and his Gestapo troops. Because they're coming in with the troops. Because that's the only way that Esau is going to be able to do this takeover. Because he knows that he's going to have a lot of opposition on his hand when it comes to setting up this NWO. Okay, it may seem voluntary now, but it's going to be with blood. Okay, because if you don't want to enter the NWO, basically, hey, they have no dealings for you, no need for you. And it says here, you should be brought before governors and kings for my sake. It says for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. Okay, so these times are coming. And it reads here, and it says, Salakia, but it says, but when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it should be given you in that same hour what you should speak. So don't premeditate. The Lord is going to put the spirit on you to say what you need to say. Because they are going to bring brothers before councils, and you're going to have to give an account as a testimony as your faith. Okay, either you're going to bitch up or you're going to be filled with the spirit and they're going to do what they're going to do. Or an angel may come and bust you out of jail. I mean, this can go any way, okay? In order for the standard to be risen, the persecution has to come, okay? The threat has to come, because without the threat, there's no need for a standard, okay? But the standard is going to come in the face of adversity. Hold your faith, man, okay? Same thing with Samson, right? When they was getting ready to kill him after they gouged his eyes out, basically the Spirit of the Lord came upon him again, and he broke down the pillars, man. He got that final peak of strength and killed those Philistines, man, and the pillars fell. If you remember the account of Samson when he slayed 1,000 men with a jawbone of an ass. So that's very well possible. Just got to have faith. Anything can happen. You know, like when we did the Passover last night, I believe right when we shut down the service, or in the midst of shutting down, the brother's phone came on with GMS Chicago on, but we turned everything off. But the phone came on saying all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. I'm like, how the hell did that even happen? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, brother, your phone was off. How did it come on? So it shows you that the Spirit of the Lord was really in the midst, man, and that he's going to intervene. I refuse to believe we're going to be all sick and docile and derelict and we just get steamrolled over. Nah, man, not this time. You know, like the brother did a video. He like, look, man, we may seem like we ain't going to win. We may seem like we in a bad predicament, man. You know, just the way brothers have been feeling in the body lately. It's like, shit. Martial law happened tonight. I ain't in no condition to make it out this shit in one piece. Like, you know, body hurt, your foot hurt, man, heartburn. You know, you ain't at your peak strength no more, man. We feel these things. But it's through faith and mercy, man, that the Lord is going to build us up. You got to believe that. All right. And it says here, but when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what you should speak. For it should be given you in that same hour what you should speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. And it says, and the brother should deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children should rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. And ye should be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved, brothers, man. So, hey, man, it's about enduring. He who endure, and that proves that it's got to be a fight behind it, because the scriptures say endure. If it wasn't a fight, then there wouldn't be no need to endure. The Lord would say, all right, just chill out. Nah, man, we're going to endure some shit. We're going to see mass death. We're going to see people falling by the thousands. Scriptures say 1,000 by thy right, 10,000 by thy left, but it should not come near thee. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, one day people just going to start dropping like flies from the juice, from these particular frequencies in the air, this poison, you know, shit exploding, man. Battles, riots. It's going to be fucking nuts out here, man. You know, and we got to be in the spirit to be able to deal with that, because, hey, if not, man, you're going to get timid, you're going to freeze up, and then you're going to, you know, the worst case scenario can happen. But this is the book of Luke 21:16. It says, and ye should be betrayed by both parents and brethren and kinsfolk and friends, and some of you they should cause to be put to death, and ye should be hated of all men for my name's sake. But there should not a hair on your head perish, and in your possessions, in your patience possess ye your souls, man. Patience, man. Okay. Patience. Let it play out. Shit. You know, if they come and try to grab you and take you to a FEMA camp, if you get caught, then hey, you just get caught. Certain brothers are just gonna go out, fuck it, kill me, you know. And then if they catch you up, they bust down your door at 4 o'clock in the morning, put guns to your face. I mean, you know, they take you to a FEMA camp. I mean, what, you gonna resist it? They got guns in your face. Let it play out. See what's gonna happen, because that don't mean you're gonna die. Okay, have faith. The Lord is gonna get you out of it. That's the whole point. Yeah, you may be scared shitless because of the stories of the scriptures, but I mean, hey, this is the way to the kingdom. The kingdom is coming, man. So regardless of that, bro, the kingdom is coming. You just got to have that. See, my biggest motivation and benefactor in this thing is like, okay, no matter what happens, this is the final captivity. Okay, this place is going to fall regardless. Like, if we died or not, this place is going to fucking fall. And the kingdom of heaven is up next. So that's the good thing. It ain't like that, you know, we got to wait for the Romans to go down and we come back in power. No, we've passed that time. You know what I'm saying? We lived and died through those times. So this time, once this fucking place falls, that's it. We're at the very end of Esau's world, brothers. And the Lord promised us that. He says a little season. So we ain't going to 2060. Hell no. We're not going to 2050. We ain't going to 2040. I doubt if we make it to 2030. Lord's will, we don't. Shit, I'm thinking, look, man, I'll speak as a man when I say this. You know, and this ain't no prophecy, but just me as a man, I want to be out of here this year. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully next year. At the latest 2025. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can see. But I can't see going past 2030. Even though this devil is trying to drag his knuckles, he got to speed up because the Most High is like, look, nigga, do what you got to do. All right, it's time for you to go. He got to go, man. You know, because honestly speaking, shit, the scriptures say unless the elect for those days have been cut short, no flesh will be saved. Everybody will be dead. Everybody's all sick and shit, man. You know, the pollution built up. This is the worst I've ever felt in my life. And I'm pretty in good shape. And this is the worst that I've felt. Literally, I felt like I was going to give up the spirit a few times within the last month or so. All because of the shit is in the air, you know, and whatever the hell else is going on, man. The foods, everything. That's how I know we finna get up out of here. But it says, and when you should see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Okay, so, hey, the armies, the martial law, like we're going into the video, all Walmart stores in Portland are closing permanently. All right. Walmart female. Let's see if they still have anything on these. They might not have anything on these anymore. You know, Google has been filtered from here to the kingdom. So, Walmart FEMA camps. Back in the day, back in 2010, man, a Google search, shit. Now, I don't know how true this is. FEMA camp location, honestly speaking. America's a big concentration camp. But I won't doubt it. It says FEMA camp locations map all throughout America, right? Because they know this is where the biggest deliverance is going to come out at. Martial law now in effect. You know, they try to write it off as disinfo. You see, like they call it a hoax. But we know goddamn well when you look up Rex 84, okay, the Agenda 21 and so forth, they got all these, like they said, the Noahide laws. They got it all in these joints, FEMA camp, Walmart. Come on, man, they definitely going to use these buildings for that. You can watch a clip from Gray State. It was a movie by this guy named David Crowley. He was an insider. He was part of the United States military. He was doing a movie called Gray State because he was exposed to some intel that the United States government was going to have a foreign government that was going to come in and police the people in America, because what happened was the American military was pretty much sent off to the Middle East to fight World War III. So they're going to have to need a people that's going to police the people without mercy and extreme prejudice. Okay, and that's no other than the UN, the Gurkha troops, you know what I'm saying, what you call those Interpol police, which is international police. You know, they sent the foreign military in here to police the citizens because it's psychotic the American military is. I mean, they ain't going to really open up on their people like that. I mean, they will, but no, they ain't in their spirit to really beat the shit out their citizens, man. Like in the Purge, first Purge, they had a foreign military known as Blackwater troops, basically Russian troops, equivalent to Spatnaz troops. They came into the island of Stun Island and they locked it down and they killed anybody they seen of color. If you was a Jake, they was putting you right to death. All right, the hour of martial law, Jacob's trouble. We there. All right, Revelation 2, and I'm going to start at 10. Fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. It says, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried, and you shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, I will give thee a crown of life. Okay, it said you should be thrown into prison. This is talking about an actual prison, not no spiritual dungeon. Not no spiritual prison, okay? No spiritual demon Satan ain't throwing you in no damn prison. This Satan is talking about Esau Edom, the so-called white man, okay? It says a guard watch, a watch keeping watch, to keep watch, persons keeping watch, a guard, sentinels. Ooh, watch the Matrix. It says of a place where captives are kept, a prison. Okay, in the time of night during which the guard was kept, I watch a period of time during the part with the guard was on duty, and at the end of which others leave them. As earlier Greeks divided the night commonly into 3 parts, meaning you had a 3 shift, like you got rotation. Shifts like a CO, they rotate 8-hour shifts, 24 hours. 8, 16, 24, they got rotations, just like here. Divided the night commonly into 3 parts. So previously the exile, the Israelites also had 3 watches at night. Subsequently, however, after they became subject to the Romans, they adopted the Roman custom of dividing the night into 4 watches. So this is talking about a physical prison, man. Okay. Yep. Psalms 18:4. It's gonna be real, brothers, man. All that pride and shit, man. It's getting ready to get real out here. All right, so this is Psalms 18, and I'm going to start at verses, let's start at 2. It says, the Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my power, my strength, in whom I will trust, my buckler and the horn of my salvation and my high tower. But I will call upon Yahweh, who is worthy to be praised, so I should be saved from my enemies. Okay, the scripture said that the enemy should come in as a flood. It says the sorrows of death compassed me, and the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. That's talking about the martial law troops. Okay, because the scripture says he's going to come in as a flood, or you've heard of something called stormtroopers. Okay, when a storm or a flood comes, it comes and it sweeps anything in its path. It gets it out the way. It says the sorrow of death compassed me, and the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. The sorrows of hell compassed me about, and the snares of death prevented me. But in my distress I called upon Yahweh and cried unto my power, and he heard my voice out of his temple, and my cry came before him, even into his ears. Then the earth shook and trembled, and the foundation also of the hills moved and were shaken, because he was wroth, man. Okay, so that's the point. Yahweh is going to deliver his elect, whoever they may be. All right, so I'm going to end it there, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And with that, Shalom and the Baba Shalom.